Titoju, BKO. I greet you, Jide. How do you do?
I'm fine, citizen.
All right, we are joined by Tony Waje, the proud Iseluku.
Yes.
Okay, Iseluku boy.
You can crown.
That's in Delta. So the team is ready. I hope you are. Okay, let's go. You know, for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, political footprints on the sands of time are never made sitting down. Obi flagged off the 2023 governorship campaign of his party in Abia State and its candidate Alex Oti. The flag bearer, the flag of, I should say, experienced a hiccup following the initial refusal of the Abia State government to allow the use of the Ngwa High School grounds, since it is a public facility. That's what the government says. But reason prevailed, we can tell you, and the flag off took off. Obi, himself an economist, bemoaned the collapse of factories in Abia due to bad economic policies and inept leadership. The Labour Party presidential candidate promised that dead factories would be brought back to life. You know what? The tragedy in life is not to fall, but to get up each time you fall, Jide.
Yes, and our country shall rise again, but it's not going to happen if we don't find the right leadership. It's not everything that we campaign on prayers. Fortune favors the daring. In football, if you don't shoot, then don't expect to score.
After all, prayers without works, they say, will not work.
So we must find the right leadership. I'm particularly happy about the way Peter Obi has energized this whole campaign. Whatever you have against him, he has really lit up the atmosphere, the political atmosphere, with the kind of message that it takes up and down, and especially the way he speaks like someone who badly wants to be trusted with the leadership of the country. You know, Obi has tried to get Nigerians to see him as a new broom, someone completely different to the other politicians who have been privileged to rule this country. And his message is one of not just change, but impactful change. So I'm not surprised that in Abia, in Abia State, it was so distraught. Anyone would be distraught about the rapid collapse of companies in the major industrial hubs of our country. You go to Kano, the industrial layouts, Chalawa, and the rest of them, a lot of those companies are gone. They are dead. Bompai, Chalawa, the companies
they are
dead.
Gone before our eyes.
Yes, you go to Kaduna, you see the textile companies that used to provide a lot of jobs for people that and their dependents who depended on the job from those textile factories.
Yeah.
They are dead, one after another, and nothing has been done up to today to revive them. We've seen factories, warehouses now converted to churches, and other worship centers. Frankly,
you know, I sound like it's cynic if I tell you this. Do you know, if the economy picks up and we start producing again, those churches will give way? Or don't you think?
I don't think so.
Am I being a cynic?
See, religion is so, it occupies such a big portion in the hearts of our people that you can't simply wish election away because good times are here.
No, really.
Even in the countries that are doing well, you still find very religious people. Look at America, for example. There are still some very, very religious people, and that's in spite of the fact that it's a first world nation.
So I won't be dubbed a cynic. Make we rest.
Let's just hope that we can find the right leadership that will revive these companies, because that will energize the economy and our currency will become stronger again.
Yeah,
we can't rely on anything else but sustained and increased production
and services
to help us increase the value of our currency and increase exports.
Tony, but if you, in your mind's eyes, are you seeing the Abba of yesteryear? And ask yourself, if Abba behaved, it would have become the Japan of Nigeria, of Africa, if you like.
You said if Abba behaved.
In the sense that the factories are alive.
The issue is to get the factories to come alive. I'm not seeing any sign. Apart from Abba, a lot of states in Nigeria, the factories are dead. Companies are pulling out, and we know the reasons. So for us to start thinking about how to revive and ignite this again, it's like asking how we're going to get those things back in shape. For instance, electricity. I mean, government involvement, providing an enabling environment for these things to thrive. It was here, these factories were, they were here before. At what point they do it, we saw this thing dwindled. We saw when they started shutting down, and we sat down and watched it, and it got to this level. What happened? Because I believe that
it began with the SAP, with the era of SAP.
The military.
That devaluation, the first major devaluation.
And it continues. I mean, so if we want to revive it now, first and foremost, we must get the leadership right.
Yeah,
to drive, because it drives the economy too. Essentially, first and foremost, we must get the right leadership. Once we get the right leadership, we'll think along that line.
Yeah.
Everything will be sorted. Because the issues here are not much. Provide what government ought to provide. The enabling environment, electricity #1. I'm encouraging foreign investors to go. They came to Nigeria and they suddenly don't know it. And they're even going to neighboring countries to do these things. And we sit down here. We know the issues. We know how to ameliorate it. We know how to solve it.
Really
it's just, the will to do so.
Yeah.
So we ask ourselves, what is the problem? Why are we not doing? So it all borders on leadership. It all borders on leadership, nothing else.
Quickly, we can't talk about this Obi flag off in Abia State without mentioning the Ngwa High School, the initial reason government gave. It's only politics.
There's a lot of bad blood, within the political space. There's a lot of intolerance. You heard what the governor of Edo State did the other day. Very ridiculous in the political season, in an electioneering season. People have the right to use any legal medium to promote their candidates.
That's it.
So if it's the medium of huge billboards and all that, you can't say because you are governor of a state that people cannot use billboards to promote their candidates. I mean, this level of intolerance is what I don't understand.
I don't know.
The same people who will not want to be and the candidate of the party in Abia to use that facility were reported to have used another school. Now you are saying that political campaigns and learning cannot go together, but you knew that when you went to use other schools. for your own campaigns. So governors need to be told the truth, and the truth is you are never going to be there forever.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So mind what you do. Mind how you make life unbearable for other people just because you have power.
There's tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow.
All right.
There's always tomorrow.
Okay, to our next story. You know, as if by a miracle, the national currency, the Naira, rebounded by some 20.8% approximately to 720 Naira to $1. You know, the announcement of the redesign by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, had piled a near choking pressure on the Naira at the black market. It had dipped to an all-time low of 910 Naira to $1. Clamped down on foreign exchange dealers in Abuja, Lagos, and some other big cities in the week by officials of the EFCC did not help matters. Traders bore the brunt of the whole fiasco. Now, the Naira, Tony, must have more than 9 lives.
Just,
You're still wondering?
I'm just, because it's not new though. And we know what triggered this. We know what triggered this. And I salute, I don't know, for me personally, I think I salute whoever initiated this move, you know, redesigning of the Naira.
Yeah.
Because how can, out of 3-point-something trillion Naira
in circulation,
be within the public?
Yeah.
Out of 3 million, out of 3.2 million trillion Naira, 2.773 are unbanked. In other words, they are not in the banks, they are with individuals. So CBN studied this and decided to do this. And then within the first week when immediately this was announced, there was this surge in banks. So,
Tony, some people are downright satanic.
So, well, now they are regretting, especially the speculators. So when it happened, people took their money. Of course, we know when I had a lot of people say, but you know Nigerians, there's always a loophole.
Yeah.
And I know, definitely, when they bring out this money, they will definitely want to change it to Forex, so as to make it easy for them. Because when you do that, you can keep it for as long as you want.
And so, waiting for the right time.
And they're waiting for the right, of course, and they're waiting for the right time to come out again and do. So I like, because yesterday actually we went out for, to sample some, because I have some of this thing to exchange. And one of their bookies were saying that yes, it was down. Also because of that, we couldn't actually do the transaction. So I was asking, like, what actually caused it? I was saying that CBN injected, foreign exchange into the market, and that brought, that resulted in that crash. So now speculators who have kept, and I read a lot today, and some of them they've actually bought this and kept it, hoping that it will,
appreciate.
So that's part of what we're saying here. So we are part of the problem. Nigerians, at times we blame government too, but in our own individual, roles, we contribute to these things.
Yeah.
We decide what happens to the economy, we decide what happened to our Forex. When the CBN governor last year, I think the issue of banning bookie FX and all that, it didn't change anything. So when you ban a book, so what happened to individual bookies in our, within us, bookkeeping this thing and speculating? Because the more you do this, the more it affects the economy.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's the common man that suffers it. Because when you go to the marketplace to buy something, you come back crying, because the Naira will no longer have value. So it has come, this is Nigeria, and I please, I stand to be corrected. I don't know why we have we have black market and official rates. Please, I don't know, is this how it is across the world?
If you ask me now, who I go ask? But Jide, you remember 1984 when this same thing happened and 53 suitcases came, and the rest, as they say, is history. So we are back there.
But we've not been able to lay our hands on some suitcases this time.
Have we punished bad behavior in this country before?
We punish, but we usually don't punish the rich.
Oh, okay.
It's not as if we don't punish bad behavior. You look at EFCC, and overwhelming majority of their convictions are
those guys down there.
Yahoo boys and the rest of them.
So,
but the politically exposed persons, it is extremely difficult to...
Is it difficult? Are they bigger than...
It is difficult to...
nail them?
To convict them. They get the best lawyers, they can bribe judges, you know, who frustrate their trial. You know, there was a time that the EFCC was identified some judges that was taking cases before.
Okay, yeah.
It was because it wasn't sure that it would get justice in the hands of some judges. Is that bad? How can you have an agency that would always take its cases before some particular judges? You know, it says a lot about the lack of confidence in the judiciary. Yes, we punish bad behavior, but it's like there is a different rule for the poor and another one for the rich.
Do you know, well, I'm tempted to think along with you, but then the question comes, is it difficult to punish these big people?
It's difficult.
Okay.
If you want me to tell you the truth, even Obasanjo just said it, that it's difficult to fight corruption because you discover that you keep stepping on the toes of your own friends.
Okay.
And people find it difficult to do that. Talking about the currency thing, since that's the issue that brought us here, people are refusing to step forward to buy. I've heard that, oh, it's because the FCC raided. No, it's not. It's not simply because the FCC raided. This is not the first time FCC will raid Bureau de Change of hubs. But people don't want to step forward and buy
for fear
that it will further crash. You know, this whole thing,
this
whole thing, the value of our currency is not based on any empirical parameters, no real metrics. It's not a function of production. It's just based largely on speculation.
Because they're special, that's all.
Ours is a rentier economy. It's just based largely on speculation. Oh, what will happen? Just for me, we are approaching December. So those guys are calculating. We are approaching December. In December, people will come home from Europe and America and other places. They will bring more dollars. Usually at that time, demand goes down. Because there is plenty supply. As a result, people coming in, bringing foreign currency. So now, this one happening now has alerted them to the possibility of the thing further going down, knowing that we are approaching December when there will be greater supply. So what they are doing now, instead of going to buy, you know, because a lot of them who need it, they also want to keep it.
Yeah.
Because it's a better store of value than our currency and it's much more consistent. So instead of going to buy it and then keep it for future use, they would rather wait because they are scared that as it is going, it will further go down. And if it goes down, they've lost money. So they don't want to take that risk. Then for some of them who also want to pay school fees and other things with it, they are encouraged by the fact that this thing is going down. And they are inclined to wait a little bit to see if it will further go down. So that at that time they can then move in, go get it for what. So it's people are reluctant. They are reluctant to go buy. So the demand, once it's a function of demand and supply. Once the demand is not impressive, you don't expect it to be going
Obviously.
well.
Obviously.
If we were to have election tomorrow now, or maybe a presidential primary, or when, then
it will shoot up.
of course, because there will be greater demand for
Yeah.
it. So we are the architects of our own misfortune. For those agonizing on social media and other places that we are talking about, Naira not being strong enough and all that, it is because we want our government to take the right steps. We are not born psychophants. We want our government to take the right steps. How come in South Africa you don't see people hawking dollar on the streets?
Yeah.
How come in Mozambique you don't see people hawking dollars on the streets? So if we must ban the black market and know that, okay, we are going to be using the official window, let's have it. Why should we have why should we even have a dual exchange rate? There was a time that was even more than 2.
Yeah,
whereby for those going on pilgrimage, there's a separate exchange rate. Those going on, no, I mean, we can't continue like that.
We have an Ade joining us. Excuse me. Ade, good evening. How are you?
I greet all my brothers here, including the prince. The dollar will still go up. You know why? The January deadline is too short. The CBNs will extend it to 6 months or 9 months to change the old note to the new note. I used to live in Kano in those days. There's a market they call Singa and Canteen Kori. Those people alone, the kind they have, is enough to set up 3 banks. So the CBN should please extend it to 6 to 9 months so that people can have time to exchange the old notes to the new notes. Otherwise, the dollar will still go up. Because January ending is too short.
I hope you are not planning on returning some pounds here.
No, you see, it's right. I don't think the period that we've given for this whole exchange to take place, banks are still going to use the same tellers that they are not using at this time. So it's going to put so much pressure on the banks.
Yeah.
It's going to put so much pressure. A lot of people have kept money at home. Especially
as we speak.
Yes, in the north, some people don't think that they should take money to the bank. It's a cultural thing for some of those big traders in those places. Canteen Kori, biggest textile market in West Africa. A lot of them don't use the banks. So now, if they must exchange this, that means they have to go to the bank.
They have no choice.
Some banks, like he was saying, he said the money that is lodged in some of those markets that is bigger than three banks. So how do we do this within so short a time? When we told our government that the time provided for this NIN registration to take place was too short, they were arguing with us. And some of the agents said, everything, you always argue about everything. But do you know how many times they extended it? They had to extend it several times. So even this one, I hope that the window, although I know that they are also careful because this is close to the election time.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think that time is enough. And if people find themselves unable to quickly get this money changed in the banks,
but you know,
they will go to the
Nigerians
and buy dollars.
Nigerians have this crazy character of not doing things in time until.
But if this one concerns everybody. If you have a little money, you have to change it now, because after the deadline, it's useless.
All right, let's make some money now. We have a commercial break. We'll be back. Please stay with us.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, welcomes the United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General and Ministers of Tourism, Culture and Arts from the UNWTO member states to the first UNWTO Global Conference on linking tourism, culture and the creative industries. Date from 14th to 16th November 2022. Venue, National Theatre, Igomu, Lagos. Workshops and technical sessions starts on 14th November. Opening ceremony 15th November, time 10 a.m. A Day with Nollywood, 16th November, time 10 a.m. Special guest, UNWTO Secretary General, Mr. Zurab Pololikashvili. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer.
Good afternoon, sir. Please, I need a room to rent in your house.
Okay, where do you work?
I'm a nurse.
That means you won't owe me rent. Congratulations, young lady. You have yourself a house.
Well, thank you so much, sir. So, how much is the rent?
90,000 naira. Oh, but wait, where are you from?
I am from Akamata.
Akamata what? Akamata in my house? If you know how you got into my house, please get out right away. My spirit and that of Akamata people don't have anything to do together.
Sir, what have I done?
Your people from Akamata are known for bad things. That is what they represent, and you can't live in my house. Just get out right away.
What's going on?
Leave my house, young lady. Yes, our differences extend to our languages, culture, food, and even belief. But we are bound together by the cord of love. With one heart, with one voice, we will make Nigeria a hub of greatness, a place where the people live as one.
This message is brought to you from the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the UK government.
All right, welcome back. Let's go to our next story. You know, President Muhammadu Buhari has let it be known that the government would never go back on the planned redesign of the 100 naira, 200, 500, 200, 500, and 1,000 naira notes by the Apex Bank, the CBN. The #1 citizen spoke at Buckingham Palace, London, where he met with the new English monarch, King Charles III. As far as he is concerned, the 3 months deadline, October to December, is long enough a time for Nigerians to get their monies changed through legal means. Meanwhile, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, wants the CBN to be innovative. The LCCI Director General, Chinyere Alumona, wants the CBN to convert small denominations of the Naira to coins. Good thinking?
I think so, because their own argument is that there is no point spending so much money producing low notes that do not last long. You know, so you know that coins are far more durable. After some time, people will be rejecting some notes. Say it's too dirty, it's weak, and all that. But the coins are much more durable. And in the countries of the world that I've visited, coins are still legal tender. I don't understand why in our country we just decided to phase out coins. I know that inflation played a part, because you ask yourself, what can 10 kobo buy, what can this buy, what can, you know? But it is still possible now to, for those low notes, to convert them to coins. And of course, they will last longer, they will be more durable than look at what Soludo did that time with polymer. Of course, those polymer notes didn't last. You know, it just amounted to simply wasting money. So I think they are correct, you know, in making that suggestion. But it may not have been part of the plans of Emefiele and his people. So perhaps this suggestion had come a little too late. But in future, as we go on, I think it's something to consider. I really want to see us use coins again. We grew up seeing Nigeria.
Toro, Sisi,
Yes,
and all
Nigerians
that.
use coins.
I saw the farthing.
Yeah, when we went 25 kobo, you know, when 25 kobo was created that time, we were like, 25 kobo is a lot of money, you know, at that time, and it looked heavy. when you place it on your palm.
You wait.
You know, I hope that we can go back to that era. Just some of those notes, turn them to coins, and of course they are going to last longer than, and the cost of even maintaining and producing new notes will go down, because you now know that you focus on the higher denomination. So I think that's a good suggestion that they made.
Tony, it is not asking for the sun, because in Ghana here, they still spend, apart from the CD, they still spend the pesewa, right? That's their coin.
Paswas.
Paswas, right? Okay.
Yeah, this is spending. I don't know. We can do that. Why? Well, sorry, let me just go back and finish this my thought on just a second, please. On the redesign of the Naira notes. Why can't we eliminate this double Forex window? You see, most times, you know, we know our problem in this country, but we don't have the will to sort it. We are jubilating now because that Naira dropped to 700. It's of course, these are man-made, yes. Of course, that's why we can sort it. Because we are jubilating because 720 and there. What's in our currency 700 compared to dollar, we should. I mean, we shouldn't be happy about it.
I was asked the other day if it is true that the government is planning a 5,000 Naira note. I said no.
That would be the end of it.
Please,
that would be the end of it.
Please dismiss such.
We can do it. So we know the way. We know the solution, the process, you know, of eliminating this crisis. Because I call it a crisis. It comes and go. And as we said, we're approaching the Christmas season. We're approaching election at the same time. So it's going to you're going to see the crisis because it hasn't ended yet. So the question is, how are we going to sort this matter permanently, so we don't go about it and come on this issue again?
Gidi said a while back that in South Africa you hardly find them.
That's why I asked, because I don't know. I needed to be informed because I don't know.
So
I don't think it's anywhere.
How did it get here?
In Nigeria, we have black markets.
This is the only country where I see this.
And it's not going. So I believe once we take this one out, we get close to what we're talking about. So the solution.
And then even if we must have a dual exchange window, the gap has to be narrow.
Yeah.
The gap has to be narrow. Some years back, before this CBN governor came, we had dual exchange window, but the gap was narrow. So because the gap was narrow,
reduce the choice.
It did not. It was not an elixir, or it did not bolster the speculator. Because if someone gives you dollars in the from the bank, they give you at maybe 444 Naira 50 kobo.
You go to the black market.
You then, because of the huge gap between
the
official rate and the unofficial market, the black market rate, you are going to take it to that place to sell. And banks are complicit. Do you know that even bank staff encourage people? They tell them, look, you can go to Abuja, to Dubai, we'll help you to do your holiday in Dubai. It's the dollars that they are after. It's the dollars. So all that they do is simply say, okay, you will take care of your own accommodation, but we'll buy tickets for you to facilitate your trip to Dubai. Then they will go through official channels to bring dollars out for you as your own basic travel allowance. That money that they've used your name to source, they will take to the black market, convert. They are doing that all over the place. They are doing that. And all of this is, I'm saying, it is because of the dual exchange window and the huge gap, the huge margin.
If they can close it, they cannot.
If you close it, of course they close it. Look, if it was even down to maybe 25, if the gap was like 25, I'm telling you, people won't want to kill themselves just to go.
That's it.
So some of these things, why it is difficult for us to address this problem.
It is a choice. It is a choice, and a crazy choice.
You now tell people, oh, they should not use the black market rate.
Why?
But the same banks that you are giving dollars to for doing nothing, they are the ones who take it to their abokis, their friends. They take it to them. They even tell you in the bank that there's somebody else.
You just pick it up
They
my
tell
mouth.
you where to go.
No,
Yes.
they will call.
No, they
will
hang
call
around
him.
the banking halls.
They will dial the number and call their bookie to come into the banking hall.
Yes. What sort of thing is we've encouraged this sort of thing to happen. Now, when because of one or two reasons there is a little improvement in the value of the Naira, will now be standing on rooftops and jubilating when we can take bigger steps. This whole thing, this Naira redesign, there's something bad about it. But our people, I'm sure our people will still exploit this situation. Let nobody deceive himself. By the time the pressure becomes unbearable, just as that man who called from London said, a lot of those people who are insistent on not taking their money to the banks, they will find the exchange operators that will convert.
Of course.
This
It's just about
once this demand becomes high, the Naira, the value of our currency against the dollar will go down again.
Celebrate yet.
So this is the thing. That is not something to celebrate. That will not celebrate. What is the value of the rand to the dollar? It's so. It's so close.
All right, we have Benga joining us from Abuja. Benga, good evening to you.
Good evening, Kolade.
Yeah, lift up your voice, as you say.
The moderator and the guest there.
Yeah.
See, the harm that this dollar is doing to SME is very great. As an SME, I sell IT products and the rest. They say we are giving $25,000 within 3 months to apply for official rate. If you go at the application, they will say you are on the queue. 8 months you have not gotten it. The same people will use your name or other people to go and get this same 25,000 naira, who will not even use the money, and they will go and sell it. The bank are doing it. If they really authentic, you want to use that money, they will not do it for you, but they will use it for other people. They will go and get that money out as an SME operator because every 3 months you are going to it. They will go and get it and sell it. And the second thing is that I challenge one of your guests one day, why are you keeping a double something? They said because the window for the manufacturer, that those who are importing anything that is sold in Nigeria, those who are importing it, they should go to the black market. That's why the government is keeping black. It's not helping us. So let them see the same.
Thank you, Benga.
We are on the same rate.
Thank you, Benga.
That window between.
Thank you very, very kindly. Tony, it's a choice. It's a choice we have to make.
A serious one.
And I hope the CBN folks are listening, because our jobs there is also to
bring it to the notice.
Yeah. Let's. There's a another way of doing things right.
There's another way of doing things right. You know, it's when you don't have solutions to your problem. You know that you complain. Most times we have solutions to this problem, but we don't have the will to sort it because of a whole lot of things surrounding it.
But again, you know, in Nigeria, we hardly want to take decisions because we are thinking what will happen. You know, if you do that, then you won't move forward.
You won't progress.
You won't go anywhere.
Definitely something will happen. But it's for the greater generality of the people that matters.
All right, let's go to our last story for the evening. You know, a recurring decimal in our politics, even if distasteful, very distasteful, is thuggery. Following reported attacks on offices of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, at Abeokuta in Ogun State and Ede in Osun State, you know, the Commission's headquarters had convened an emergency meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. This meeting held earlier on today. So with 105 days to the 2023 elections, not only must we not leave any stone unturned, Tony, we must not leave any turn unstoned.
I'm telling you, we need to make progress in Nigeria. It hurts that year in, year out, we say that we are complaining about this.
America, for instance, is going through the midterm elections.
Midterm election. And
we don't hear any such thing.
No noise. You know, no noise, because it's a process, it's a routine. ours is always, riddled in controversy. Some people feel that it's time, people must hear us, it's time to make noise, it's time to destroy things. INEC office being burnt. I don't think I like the signal. It's not good for 2023 because it wasn't just burnt. Something followed, something happened. What is the message they're trying to pass? In Ogun State yesterday, for instance, about 65,000 PVCs were burnt.
Yeah,
so
65,699.
Yeah, so it just disenfranchised about 65,000
in addition to
voters.
Some 904 election boxes.
Ballot boxes and other things, generators, I saw, and there was wondering, must we continue to? And that's why, again, the issue is, there are new punitive measures to this, to this attitude of our politicians, because I call politicians because it's not an ordinary man on the streets that went into INEC to burn INEC office. And this happened in the night, according to the security guard. Yeah. They came in about 1 a.m. and start throwing firebomb into the building.
See so, the list of things destroyed.
Come in. And then at the end of the day,
election bags, 30 megaphones.
It will happen after 1 week. We move on. I will not hear the matter. We're not going to talk about the matter again.
But what do you make of the statement of the IGP, Usman Baba Alkali? He says some arrests had been made. He should go further than making.
That is exactly what I'm saying. Some arrest has been made, and it ain't there. That is just
nobody would be punished.
That is some arrest. I mean, we've heard cases of vote buying in this country where people are arrested and all that. There are no punitive measures. After that announcement, that is the end. Once you have punitive measures commensurate to the, just imagine this. When we have punitive measures, give appropriate punishment to these people. These things will stop. But if you go and come and somebody say, this and that boy, call the DPO, he said, that boy in your station is my boy, let him go. We will keep having this problem.
A phone call.
Just a phone call. We're still having this problem.
We've been coming a long way since the days of wet year,
Yes.
And looks like we are not ready to change.
Completely beats me. The unknown gunmen,
or something.
They've been going around burning police stations and INEC facilities. Yes, those ones, maybe they are at war with the country, and they've been saying there won't be election unless there's referendum and all that. We all know that there's no provision for referendum in the Nigerian Constitution. Now, this sort of thing happening in the Southwest is strange to me. What is the intention?
Yes.
The Abeokuta South local government, that's where I think people like Baba, Oshoba, and the rest of them come from. And Amosun. Senator Amosun is also an Abeokuta man. I don't know whether some people think by carrying out this attack, they will stop a particular party from winning the election or make it difficult for their political opponents. I learned that they actually soaked bread.
In fuel.
Soaked bread in fuel and then
flung. Never heard that before.
Of course. They too, evil people are always thinking. Always thinking. So I still don't understand. The bulk of the destruction of the INEC facilities have been in the southeast. Although just before the election in Ondo, there was a similar fire.
In Ondo State?
Yes, in
this
Ondo
last
State.
one.
Before the last governorship election there, the off-season election. Our people want to win by all means possible. And I'm sure this is part of trying to win by all means, because why would you go and destroy
No. Maybe let me act naive here. How does a winning or a success come
You just
from...
bought 65,000.
No, so if you can disenfranchise people in an area where your opponent is strong. You know, even on election day, you see these people deliberately cause violence in some constituencies because they know that where voting is characterized by violence, results are not supposed to be returned from those places. So it's all parts of the games that politicians
But INEC says it is going to duplicate them.
So now, before INEC said that, they probably were not aware that those PVCs could be duplicated.
And it will take time for the PVCs to be duplicated. Election is about how many months? How many months to produce
by February,
65,000?
we have an election in February.
Oh, when is it? I'm telling you, and they're going to do 65,000.
So I'm sure they didn't know that it's possible for INEC to steal. What if they do this on the eve of an election? That's why we must protect all those. The police must prioritize the protection of all those facilities because if they do it, if they destroy INEC materials so close to the election, it can cause so much disruption and sabotage the election in those places. Well, I really don't understand what these guys are after. And I was reading some of the previous attacks. You know, in July 2022, 3rd July, they attacked the INEC office in Igboeze in Enugu and destroyed 740 ballot boxes and 240 cubicles. You know, those cubicles that they use on election day. At least that guarantees some level of privacy for the voter.
Sorry, let's not keep Folabi reaching us from Songo waiting. Folabi, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Jones, and I greet Babajide and my Tony.
We greet you.
I'm calling from Songo. You see, on the issue at hand, this burning of INEC office, it is laughable. It is so laughable that when I see the picture, and again, the statement that very were soaked in the petrol, who were there that thing happened, that they know that it is bread that they use to soak into the petrol. I had it this morning like that. I was wondering, in a situation like that, and when we are almost into the election, what stopped the police to start to be at the doorstep or within the vicinities to guide the area? It is negligence on the part of INEC and the security agents. They're supposed to have been a permanent standby policemen around that area. We can't continue this way. It is a kind of destroying the people's property.
All right, Falabi, many thanks.
Let me just add that between February 2019 and May 2021, 41 INEC offices have been attacked. Imo State topped the log with the most attacks during the period under review. Imo State, of course, that is linked with the insecurity in Imo and Anambra. You know, the activities of IPOB.
Imo leading.
Activities of IPOB and you know, they even disrupted registration of voters and all that and kill people. So, but 41 is such a huge number between February 2019 and today. It's such a and May 2021. So they are talking about 2 years. 41.
2019 May 2021.
May 2021. You know, you are talking about 41 buildings destroyed in 2 years.
That's strategic.
So this will certainly set back INEC in terms of its preparation because when you destroy cubicles, what do you want them to conduct the elections with? Because So we are not going to conduct the elections in the open. There must be some level of secrecy.
That's it. That's it.
You know, for the voters. So they need to protect all these facilities
Seriously.
a lot more.
Tony, does it not bother you that Nigerian politicians have become Machiavellian? They must win by all means, like it or yes. And when you hear things like this state is a so-so party state, you are wondering who gave it to them.
So that's speculative too. You know, the system made it possible for them to commit this, and most times commit this crime and escape it untouched.
And the guys who carry out these crazy jobs are paid.
They are paid, and because they have the backing of the person who sent them. Most times, they are known personalities in the society, and so the police knows them. Most of these police DPOs that you see, somebody made it possible for him to be the DPO of that station. So also, the area commander, and then just like that. So there are some cases that will come to your table and you look at the personality involved, you say, oh, no, don't, you know, and the matter dies like that. Until, you know, we need to rejig the system. A lot of things are going, and it's causing a retrogression. It's not making it's not making Nigeria progress.
After 62 years?
No, it's not making us to progress. You
After
know,
62
we
years.
have a lot of big manism in the system. You know, and they are not making Nigeria they are not making the country to breathe. It's simple. That is why, and the election is coming now. They have to say, no, we must win this election or this will happen. It's happening again. That's why you see some people they want to campaign in some states. The governors will say it's not possible. Because, power is transient. Today you are the governor, tomorrow you're no longer there. I mean, everything should be, if you can have access to it, allow the other person access to it. Because these are public facilities. It does not belong to you. You know, so they assert their position. You know, so it's choking the system. We know the solution to this problem. I keep saying it. Just how we sit down and say, today, let's sort it. Until we do that, we know.
Because when one of theirs is in trouble,
it's involved.
A phone call away.
A phone call away, and there are some people, you want to pick their call, you must attend to it.
Yeah. We must talk to the power brokers because they are watching.
Yes, and it's these big politicians who are carrying out these attacks. They are the ones behind the thugs who are carrying out these attacks. But often when you get hold of one of the boys, they will start calling Abuja, asking for the guy to be released and all that. So, but they've done their worst. All we can request is that the security of INEC facilities must be prioritized.
In other words, if they have done their worst, INEC must do its best.
INEC, because this is it's possible that as we move closer to the election, this thing could get worse. You know, because we didn't expect these two attacks.
Oh yeah.
Now, so they've got to protect those facilities so that these guys will not be able to destroy them and then set back INEC in terms of its preparations. So this is the thing. We shouldn't wait until it happens again. Take steps to make sure that they do not do this.
Sometimes I wonder if they know there's any such thing as nemesis.
They don't.
There's somebody who has ingested illicit drugs. He's not bothered. He's been told to go and do it, and they've given him cocaine or whatever. All he wants to do is just get that job done
and move
on. They don't bother. They are not moralists. They are not moralists. They are anarchists. They are not moralists.
Yeah.
So we are not dealing with moralists. We are dealing with anarchists. They don't. Those considerations don't come to their minds.
All right, folks, that will just about do it today on the program. Our major job here is to help mold opinion based on the facts available to us. We are done. I want to thank you, Babajide Kolade Otitojo. But
thank you, James.
Anthony Waje, let me indulge you a little. Helen Hussein is a year older today. Today is 11/11. And I'm saying a happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday
Madam.
to her.
Madam, you
Birthday,
do a
Madam.
fantastic job. A job to even manage a difficult man requires extraordinary skills. And to have done that for so many years, man.
Yeah.
They need to give you a professorial chair.
Okay. Where? At which institute?
At the Akwa Ibom State University.
Happy birthday, madam.
All right, folks, that's it on the program. But if you missed this edition, join us at 11 later tonight for a late edition. And don't forget, on Sunday, we expand the show to 2 hours from 1:30. Join us then. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now. Take care.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV. Black Friday is here, and ShopX TV is proud to bring you a very special offer. We all know the benefits that come from eating a healthy, balanced diet, but sometimes that's not always easy. Until now, ShopX TV is proud to introduce the NutriBullet, the must-have kitchen item of the year. Here's how it works. First, add spinach for fiber, berries for antioxidants, and some banana for potassium. Add water and watch how the